Nobody wanted to destroy Bangalore. They
Okay.
wanted to invest it.
We probably are the first generation of people who are destroying Bangalore unwittingly.
Yes.
Are they really boundary markers? What are they?
They are not boundary markers.
Okay.
They are
Wait. You said something very, very interesting. So the whole festival, or rather that ritual of getting the oxen to jump over fire, is getting them used to forest fires and in case they need to escape.
There was also one myth that this is very fascinating because this is a new inscription which is discovered right in the heart of Bangalore.
Wow. So this goes beyond the 890 of...
More than 1,370 years.
Wow, the antiquity of Bangalore is just baffling.
Yeah, so he's like the first recorded citizen of Bangalore.
So viewers, the first recorded citizen of Bangalore, his name is...
It was very fascinating because once a person knows about his place and his roots, they have a sense of pride.
There's also a lesson that one could draw here. If you need to preserve something, the first step of preservation is education. But Bangalore had a developed system of lakes.
This was documented to be the best system they found. Yelahanka became part of Bangalore. Now,
Yes.
that is such a twist.
That
Bangalore
like-
was part of Yelahanka Nadu. And Yelahanka
okay.
is now part of Bangalore. And Bangalore became the capital of the new state. Because of that educational revolution, many immigrants came and then you had employment coming in.
Everything was here, HAL,
Yeah, and-
BEL,
And then the
BHEL.
major IT revolution.
Do our Shilpa Shastras have a solution to this kind of haphazard growth, or you think Bangalore is beyond...
They don't look at growth, but they do look at conservation.
Now, where does Bangalore progress from here? It's been the 15th, started in the 16th century. Then Shivaji lays siege, a brotherly siege, and then gives the city as dowry to his sister-in-law. Today the people would just go mad. Shahji's daughter-in-law had the city given to her as dowry.
Yeah, and there's one more twist after that. When the Mughals come and invest Bangalore for about 3 years, and then they sell Bangalore to Chikdevaraja Vadiya for 3 lakh.
3 lakh
Whatever currency
currency
was
of that time.
going on at that time.
Whether it was in the Mughal Darbar or...
So Chikdevaraja Vadiya purchased Bangalore.
Wow. Chikdevaraja Vadiya purchased Bangalore?
Yes.
Okay.
What is also obvious from this is that nobody wanted to destroy Bangalore. They
Okay.
wanted to invest it. But
Yeah.
they did not want to destroy it.
So that tells us that we probably are the first generation of people who are destroying Bangalore unwittingly.
Yes.
Okay.
With our own hands. So that was very amusing to say that the entire city was purchased by Chikdevaraja Vadiya.
Wow.
And of course, he developed that as a defense for
His Mysore
the
and
northern defense
Hmm.
of the Mysore kingdom. And he builds the Kotte Venkatramana Swamy temple.
Okay.
And that is where Belli Baswa was. And Belli Baswa was shifted into the Pete.
Okay.
And this mandapa, which was dilapidated, was given the shape of a temple. And the first, Sri Vaishnava temple came up.
So it was all Shaiva temples before that?
Shaiva temples and Vishnu temples, like Ranganatha Swamy.
Huh.
Not a Venkateshwara temple.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
is
So
the
there's a
first,
Sri Vaishnava.
So this is the first Venkatramana Swamy. Probably because Warriors had to worship Sri Vaishnava deity when he would come for tax collection, whatever purpose that he came and stayed, he had to worship the deity.
Okay.
And you had Sri Vaishnava community coming in as well as priests, etc. There's an inscription to that effect.
So
by his
this
son,
is because of Chamaraj Wadiyar, Chikdevaraj Wadiyar, this happens.
Yeah, and he builds an oval fort.
Okay.
He builds the oval fort, and there's military.
And this
of
is
course,
which year is this?
This is in the 17th century, 18th century.
Okay.
That
At the
time.
cusp of 17th and 18th century, somewhere.
Yeah, Chikdevaraja Vadiyar's
Okay.
time. So at that time he builds it, and there's an inscription as well. In 17th century inscription. Yeah, there is in Kotanur.
Kotanur, yes.
And the inscription was installed by his son, who was
Okay.
called Mukarasu, because he could not speak. So it's called Mukarasu. So he makes a reference to the temple and he says, my father installed the deity.
And that is how we
Swamy."
know.
That is how we know.
Okay.
And for a long time, we did not know location of this inscription. And even the priest was searching for it.
Oh, so the priest knew of the existence but was searching for it.
Yeah, was searching for it, and he did not know the content. Then, of course, Udaya has started his project by then and
Okay.
found the Kothunur inscription. Then I got a replica of the inscription done and gifted it to the temple after our documentation.
Oh, fantastic.
So whoever goes to the temple now can
see
look
the
at-
replica of the thing.
Yeah.
And this is housed where? The original inscription now?
The original inscription is in situ.
Okay.
It was shifted into a temple there, but it's still in Kothunur.
Okay. So in all this time, Bangalore has kept on growing. And we see that is happening even to this day. And what was fascinating to me was in Shivaji's time, description of the Bangalore city and the fort, so beautiful, saying that junctions had fountains and of course the water systems and other things would feed into that. And one other thing that I always noticed in our conversation here, but as growing up in Bangalore, the weather in Bangalore, one, because of the altitude and other things, was fantastic. And I still remember, so we had just shifted from Sheshadripuram to RT Nagar. And there was a time when there was still both places. And I used to cycle as a kid from Sheshadripuram to RT Nagar. As soon as I come across to the palace grounds, the Kaveri Theatre Road, the weather used to drop down. It used to become really cold. The palace grounds.
Because that is the highest ground.
So that is the highest ground.
That is why palace was located there.
Okay.
Because everything flows away from there.
Okay, so that
drainage.
It's a high ground.
Yeah, it is the high ground. That is why it is called the high grounds.
Okay. Okay, so I used to cycle there and it used to be a refreshing change. So I'm cycling and then suddenly it gets really cold there. And then I cycle all the way up to Makery Circle. And I still remember, I can still visualize it. As a kid, I used to look at the left side and my parents and cousins and all used to tell me this is the limit of Bangalore. So what are those markers, the city boundary markers? Are they really boundary markers? What are they?
They are not boundary markers.
Okay.
They are watchtowers.
Okay, so they were watchtowers.
They were part of the warning system, like we discussed earlier.
Okay.
They're certainly not boundary towers. And they are not just 4 in number. There are many more in number.
Okay.
And they were all at a certain altitude where there was visibility. So the line of vision was not blocked. So the warning system was maintained.
Okay.
This probably would have caught on the warning from Nandi Durga and other Giri Durgas and relayed the warning to.
So this is basically a relay tower.
Yes, it is a relay tower. Even Bugle Rock. Bugle Rock is also, you have those oil pits there.
Correct.
Which actually tell you what they were doing.
Yeah, they were lighting lamps.
That was a signal. There was no Morse code. So there was a fire signal all the time. So that was the purpose of the watchtower.
Okay. Wow. So, one more myth busted. So I was told there are 4 towers. South End Circle is one. Makery Circle is another. And then Kempegowda's vision for the city said that it's going to grow till here.
The watchtowers was actually built by Immadi Kempegowda.
Okay. That is Kempegowda's grandson or the son?
I think it's the grandson. I think the son misses the throne because Kempegowda lives for a longer time. That needs to be verified. So he's called Immadi Kempegowda. And Immadi Kempegowda, incidentally, is the person who founded Magdi.
Okay, so that is why they became Magadi Kempegowdas.
Later on, the third Kempegowda is usually referred to as Magdi Kempegowda.
Okay.
Immadi Kempegowda establishes that Pete and Kote over there. And incidentally, I found very, great similarities between Bengaluru Pete Kote and Magdi Pete Kote. The
Okay.
same kind of elliptical layout. Of course, the citadel there is the private citadel of Kempegowda. Kempegowda too, and a portion of the fort remains. Some of it is dilapidated, some of it fallen down. It's up for restoration. So Immadi Kempegowda is the guy who built the watchtowers, and usually it is attributed to Kempegowda.
Okay.
What is done in conversations, general conversations,
is said Kempegowda.
Yeah, Kempegowda means one person, but it's actually a sum total of so many generations.
And all were Kempegowdas in their own.
They were named after the after Bhaire Deva's consort, Kempamma Devi.
Okay.
And because Kempegowda's father has a hurricane, and he kind of names the firstborn male child after the goddess.
Okay.
So that is how, that is the legend. Of course, again, we don't have palm leaf or any other evidence.
Okay.
This is a story carried on. And everyone becomes Kempegowda. So there's confusion about which Kempegowda built what.
Okay. So then we need experts like you to timestamp it, read the history.
Even if you're not an expert, you can go through epigraphy and you can make a comparison and see when Kempegowda passed away and when this person was here. And then you figure out which person it is who has built it.
Did you go through any experience like this where you had to date a particular inscription or a monument?
Definitely, because Mukkarasu, you look at it, 1705. Of course, the name is always there. So it's helpful. Now, Kempegowda, the second inscription is found even in Ranganatha Swamy temple.
Okay.
Where there's a donation list. And why were these inscriptions put in place? To record the donations, to say that there's an endowment of these villages. When they say endowment of villages, they mean income from the village is given to the temple for its maintenance.
So the income from these villages is as in the kandaya or the tax that's collected?
Yeah, the tax is kind of, it's not taken into the administration by the administrator, the ruler, or the governor.
It goes directly to the temple.
End out to the temple. It's a charitable purpose.
Okay.
So they end out that part of the tax. That is what they do. Sometimes they attach agricultural fields.
Okay.
Some donors need not be rulers. There could be merchant guilds. There could be farmers who build the lakes, and there's an inscription to that effect. So you find a lot of local history reading through these inscriptions.
Okay. So what are the temples that we don't know about? I mean, quite a lot of temples are very famous now, and we have got very new temples. But back in the day when the series of Kempegowdas were building and developing the city, what were the iconic temples, and which of them do we still have today?
Well, we have the Halasuru Someshwara.
Okay.
Which the Garbhagriha was built during Chola times and expanded by Kempegowda and so on. So that temple exists. You have Ranganatha Swamy temple. You have the Dharmaraya Swamy temple.
Yeah, Dharmaraya Swamy temple is where the Karaga begins. Dharmaraya Swamy, I mean, Karaga is where Karaga begins.
Yes.
We will still come to that. And what was the other temples you were talking about?
Jalakanteshwara is there.
Jalakanteshwara temple, yes.
So that temple, not many people know about it. It's a beautiful little temple.
Okay.
And they're all later Vijayanagara style temples. And every community has a different kind of temple, right? There is the Bireshwara, which is a Kuruba community reference. Near Sampangi tank, you have the Bireshwara temple. Now it is modernized. But I found an older Bireshwara temple which has retained its rawness.
Okay, the original architectural style.
In Benson Town, thanks to one of my friends who does this Bangalore.
Wait, there is a Bireshwara temple, original Bireshwara temple in Benson Town?
Yes. And the Kuruba community still exists. And it's the community which is managing the upkeep as well. And part of the temple is buried under because the roads have risen. So you don't see the plinth, the addition of the temple anymore. But it has its original architecture in place. It's painted over, but the architecture still remains. And it's fascinating. The Nandi is very beautiful. There are two lingas. Apparently, the original linga was lifted above and kept on a ledge. And the new linga was installed during British residency times.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah, so that
that's
is what
confusing history. Huh?
that's what the caretaker told me. And yes, Garbhagriha has two lingas.
Wow.
So Bireshwara is a linga, and he's got a naga next to him.
Yes.
So the naga is very important, is what the caretaker told me as well. And Shivratri is, of course, a main festival, and about 3,000 people gather now in the temple. The grounds remain raw.
Okay.
In the sense, it's not concreted and tiled over.
So it's earth, basically.
Yeah, so it's fascinating. Now, this Bireshwara, the 8 Suttinakote, etc., those references to Sampangi Kere come into the Karaga.
Okay.
Right? But Kuruba as a community, a strong community, had these temples, and that caretaker told me this is the Ajja of the Sampangi Bireshwara.
Okay.
It's like, okay, the gods are also, related somehow. So that's the older one. This is the new one, and so on and so forth. So that I learned now about Vincent Town, Bireshwara. So you expand your vision and you learn a lot more as time goes on.
Okay. So it's fascinating. There is in fact, the older temple than the Sampangi Bireshwara temple is in Benson Town.
Well, that is a claim.
Okay.
Now someone has to examine that claim. It does look older.
Okay.
So I would, and there are these fascinating virgalos all around, which a historian told me was probably related to the main person or the leader of that community at that time.
Okay. So Virgalu is basically
a hero stone.
A hero stone, basically describing something?
Yeah. So this may not be hero stone, is also what he said.
Okay.
When the man passed away, the lady seems to have committed sati along with him.
Okay.
Because she's got her hand up like that in a sati posture. So this Masti Galwa and this man combined. So both of them passed away at that time. Probably that was in remembrance of that particular couple. There is
a memorial plaque of something.
There is no note that says he died in a battle. Now that is an actual hero stone.
Okay. Which is what was in Begur.
Yes.
So the first Begur inscription is about a warrior fighting for Bangalore. So we can call that a Virgalu.
Yeah, that is inscription though.
Okay.
It's not just a depiction of the hero. Incidentally, the one at Hebbal was thought to be a hero stone. Okay.
Now we have not talked about this. Yeah. And there is, from the previous podcast, I know that there is an extremely fascinating story about this. And you were instrumental in building this story, community and the monument.
Well, Bangaloreans built it because all of them funded it.
Okay.
I designed it, I would say that.
Okay. So take us through this journey. What happened there? How did that story begin?
So that started with locating the hero stones on what was an inscription stone and 2 yantra stones on the village boundary, the village of Hebbala. And these 4 stones were laid along a stormwater drain.
Okay.
Of what was probably the boundary of that village at that time.
Okay. Oh yeah, because if there's a stormwater drain, it usually is in the boundary.
Even Rice records it only as a hero stone. He doesn't record it as an inscription.
Okay.
Incidentally, there were some road works happening and the stormwater drain was getting rebuilt.
Okay. So which year was this, ma'am?
This was in 2018.
Okay. Just before COVID.
Yeah, just before COVID. And at that time, one of our friends had kind of informed the localites that if somebody touches it, please inform. Okay, so there was a reminder kept out there. Kept out there because no one wants it destroyed. No one wants the reference destroyed. You know that Shankranti, they used to start from that boundary. Yeah. They used to do the, Kichhai Sadu.
Kichhai, yeah. That is basically getting the oxen jump over fire.
Getting them used to forest fires. And also destroying the mites underneath.
Wait. You said something very, very interesting. So the whole festival, or rather that ritual of getting the oxen to jump over fire is getting them used to forest fires and in case they need to escape? Yes. That is what I heard from my mother. And okay. So this is very fascinating. Because it's just before summer when there can be forest fires. Okay. And cattle graze everywhere. They used to graze in covels, which were reserved. The grasslands were reserved for, for the cattle and so on. And at that time, if there was a fire, the cow should know to jump over. Okay.
So that was one logic. The second logic that she told me was during winter and later, there are mites on the underbelly,
Okay.
which only go with heat.
So they used to set it on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would also jump with them.
Okay.
It wasn't just the oxen or
Oxen
the cattle
fire, of course.
jumping, it's the cow herd also jumping with them.
Hmm.
And I saw this happen in Hebbal after we built that
Okay.
mantipa, which was fascinating for me because I had only seen it in childhood.
Okay. Sorry for the detour. But then you having every conversation with you throws up these nuggets which I usually get derailed. So I mean, you really are a treasure trove of information in this
Thank
regard.
you.
So please let me know. So you had one of your team members had gone ahead and warned them.
Friends.
One of your friends had warned them
and the local had kept an eye on it, the localites, and when they were doing the work, the earthwork, they told them, don't touch it. And this particular person happened to go over there. No one was ready to pull the stones up.
Okay.
Because there is this, belief that you should not touch them, or whoever touches them will die, or something will happen.
So the urban legends come around there.
There was also one myth that you had to read it upside down, or else your head will explode and things like that.
Oh my God!
Fascinating blind beliefs you have. Anyway,
no, I think somebody like me would have pulled that in pulling somebody's leg, saying that read it upside down or your head would explode. That's something I would have done.
Because it's an older Kannada script and it's not legible anymore. So people have all these stories around them.
Yeah.
Luckily, they were all rescued. And when they dug up the stone, they found an inscription below the hero depiction.
Below the hero depiction, there is a
inscription.
Okay. So how big is this, just for the audience to get a grasp of?
It's about 2.5 feet by about 4.5 feet.
Oh, so it's a big stone.
Yeah, only about 2 feet was above
the
600
ground.
to 700 mm was above ground. So nobody saw that inscription, including B.L. Rice. Even he recorded it as hero stone.
So even when he saw this and recorded it,
so it was buried under.
Oh, okay.
So this is very fascinating because this is a new inscription which is discovered right in the heart of Bangalore. Hebbala.
Wow. Okay.
And it pushed the history of the place, the antiquity of the place, to so many years ago, because the inscription that was found was from Ganga times.
Was all the way from Ganga times, even before Kempegowda had started the city.
Because it starts with Swasti Shri Sri Purusha. Sri Purusha Maharaja.
Correct.
Sri Purusha Maharaja of Gangas. So the inscription is dated to about 750 AD.
Fascinating.
750 Common Era.
So this goes beyond the 890 of...
More than 1,370 years.
Wow, the antiquity of Bangalore is just baffling.
Yeah. So you have this place which is
this is
much older.
This is 750.
750.
50. 750, we have an inscription of Hebbala. Was it called Hebbala back then?
Yeah, it was called Perbollal Nadu. Perbolla is the older form of Hebbala.
Correct. The Hale Kannada, when it translates Perbollal, we call Hebbal.
And Perbollal Nadu. So it's a Nadu typology.
Okay.
And then there is a number next to it called Muvattu.
30.
Right? Which means it was an administrative center for about 30 settlements.
Okay. So when we say Nadu, what kind? How do modern uneducated people like us understand what is Nadu?
You can think of it as a taluk.
Okay.
Because there was the Samrajya, there was the Mahamandaleshwara of all the mandalas.
Okay.
And then there was a Mandaleshwara of the mandala or Mandalika. And then you had the Nadus, the Kottams, the Keres, the Pattanas, and so on and so forth. Okay,
so this is how in our Indic system,
not Indic system, the Ganga Chola system.
Okay, so this is the Ganga Chola system.
You have these categories.
So this is their administrative breakups.
Yeah, even Samantaraja, Mahamandaleshwara is a reference you find even to Hakka and Bukka. So even
correct, even they were Mahamandaleshwaras.
This administration system continues. So you know that.
Correct. Yes.
So you can think of it that way. Like you have districts, you have got these Nadus or taluks.
Correct.
So you can think of it that way. And it was an administrative center for 30
villages.
Villages or settlements.
So
So
Peraballal Nadu was the administrative center
Yeah.
for 30 villages
so it
around it.
becomes a major
Center,
town,
yeah.
right? Major center. Just like Bengaluru, it's a major center. And this was very fascinating. And what it records is Pelnagatara was the governor. He was a Palegar or the governor or the Nada Prabhu at the time. And during his time, there is a cattle raid.
There's a cattle raid.
Raid by Rashtrakutas.
Okay.
Okay? Because it says Rattavadi.
Okay, that is
That's
Rashtrakutas.
Rashtrakuta.
Yes.
So they came invading into the Ganga kingdom and they were repelled.
Okay.
And in this particular battle, a person called Kittaya dies after his, valorous display.
Okay.
So
Kittaya.
that inscription is in the memory of Kittaya.
So the hero stone is for Kittaya.
So it is Kittaya's Hebbala inscription stone. So he's like the first recorded citizen of Bangalore is what some historians, like to call him.
Wow.
Kittaya.
So viewers, the first recorded citizen of Bangalore, his name is Kittaya. See if you can identify with this.
So citizen number 1 is what Dr. Aruni
Citizen number 1, Kittaya.
Yeah.
750 AD.
750 AD.
Okay.
So his brothers erected this stone in his memory. So that is the whole story that is given. So the date is given, the name is given, and you know who is governing. That's the, what is useful about the inscription because it gives you that history of the place.
Absolutely, yeah.
History of the people as well.
And I live very close to Hebbal.
Yeah.
I did not know any of this is happening.
We did not know either, nobody knew. So once this was deciphered by one epigraphist called Dr. P.V. Krishnamurthy, then Udiya and myself, then it was just a voluntary group, Inscription Stones of Bengaluru.
Okay.
So he asked me.
Wait, the voluntary group is called Inscription Stones of Bengaluru.
Yeah, of Bangalore.
Where do people find you?
We are no longer that informal group because that entire project, the 3D digitization project, is now attached to the Mythic Society where Udiya Kumar is an honorary director.
All right.
So you can find him there at the Mythic Society.
Okay, so at that time it was an informal group of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of few interested citizens, you can say. We were all giving our time and energy. Nobody asked us to do it.
Okay.
Many people may view us as nutcases, but...
That's probably why something good came out of it.
Yeah. So the idea was to preserve it.
Okay.
And now the villagers, the patela of the neighborhood wanted it preserved in situ.
Okay.
They did not want it shifted to a museum.
Okay, that's
Which
very,
is
very
the best way of preserving something.
Correct.
Because then the place relevance is not lost.
One, place relevance is not lost, and secondly, the history is established and it is not taken away.
And you only move something into the museum if you cannot preserve it in situ.
Correct.
If there's a conflict situation or if it is under threat, then you move it. Otherwise, there's no need to move it.
Correct.
So the question was, how will we preserve it? So Udiya asked me what to do. So I suggested, because it's a Ganga inscription, let us do a Ganga style mantapa for it.
Fantastic. And how did, you told me you people are all concerned citizens or interested nutcases. Now, how did you fund this?
That is another fascinating story.
Okay.
What Udiya and his friend Vinay Kumar at the time, what they did was, they decided to 3D scan the inscription. That is how it all began.
Okay. In true Bangalore style, use technology.
Technology.
Yeah.
He is a tech person.
Of course.
So he used technology. And it's a better way to preserve it as well for posterity.
Correct.
Even if something happens to the stone, the record still stays.
Yeah.
And you can make it freely available to people, which is already done, putting it on Google Maps.
Fantastic.
His team has done it. So after doing the 3D scanning, the idea was to make a small brass replica of it.
Okay.
To about 1/8 scale or so on, about 6 inches, you can say, and gift it to every donor.
Okay, so you went on a donation spree as well?
On a public donation spree, rather.
That is why you said Bangaloreans paid for it.
We put it out to the public.
Oh, fantastic.
Said, now, if you donate, by that time I had designed the mantapa. My references came from Manne, Kapileshwara temple. We had studied that as well. We had documented that.
Okay.
And then I designed the mantapa. So we put that together. We put a 3D image of the mantapa also. I said, we want to construct this to preserve this.
And you went on a
and
donation
whoever
spree.
donates will get a replica
Made.
An exact replica, because it's 3D scan. So you have precision scanning and you have the same letters on it.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So, and you get the content and you get the meaning and everything. And this was put, of
so
course,
it's a true collectible.
Yeah. So he put it on Facebook, he put it on his Insta, and we put it on YouTube and so on. And we spoke about it as well. And that reached to all corners of the world.
Oh, not just Bangalore.
Not just Bangalore. Bangaloreans in all corners of the world.
Oh, fantastic.
And they started donating. Of course, it made up for some, and then we had a little bit of funding coming in. And this took about, you can say, about 25 lakhs or so.
Okay. That's not a small sum of money.
It's not a small amount at all when you are asking for public donation.
Yeah.
And it's all clearly mentioned, and each group who donated came and took the replica at that spot. So they could get introduced to the inscription.
And
they could also see the work happening.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? Then I found my team of workers and sculptors and got it done. So this happened in tandem. And in a year, it was completed.
Wow. So your ragtag team of nutcases, as you call them, concerned citizens, out of their own interest, found the inscription, got a 3D scanning done of it, made replicas of it. You went on with, of course, your previous work inspiring and educating you. You've reconstructed a Ganga-style mantapa. You've done chanda raising for it of 25 lakhs and you completed it in 1 year. Wow, this is a fascinating story.
Yeah, it is.
And it's quite an achievement.
It's a true citizen ownership because it belongs to all Bangaloreans.
Wow.
It belongs to every person who donated. It belongs to the neighborhood. It belongs to the locality. And the people of Hebbal, they are very proud of it.
Of course.
No? And the Sankranti celebration happened in a very grand way.
Right, and what better way to celebrate it?
Right at the beginning of COVID.
No, what better way to celebrate it than Sankranti?
Yeah, then Sankranti. And you had these ladies come and do colorful rangolis around it. And
oh, the sense of pride
all of that
would have just gone up.
Kitaya has become their deity too now.
Oh, fantastic.
And the new born children are getting the surname of Hebbala.
Wow.
Like I said earlier.
Yeah. I mean, when the last time you you mentioned this, I was really fascinated. What better way to honor than naming your children? Your surnames are coming from Hebbal.
That was very fascinating because once a person knows about his place and his roots, they have a sense of pride. And we were discussing sense of belonging to Bengaluru. Right? Yeah. The more you know about the history of the place, that feeds into your own identity, your own cultural identity.
Oh, definitely.
And we saw that entire idea being strengthened, in that one example. And it's the same across, whether it is a small child or whether it is an adult.
Yeah.
Once you tell them about the history of the place, where they come from, then their root gets established and they have that sense of pride. And there's willingness to preserve it.
Okay, so there's also a lesson that one could draw here. If you need to preserve something, the first step of preservation is education.
Yeah, education, awareness.
Awareness. And only if you can find your root in either a monument or a town or anything, only then the preservation starts.
Yeah, true.
and you have seen this, you have experienced this.
Yes.
Wow. So I think we are doing our small bit in trying to get people to understand where Bangalore started from. I hope we are doing this. So, and talking about roots and preservation, you see that everything it's our pet peeve. We are stuck in Bangalore in the sense, stuck on the roads. In fact, we were talking about the same thing. While getting here, both of us experienced the same thing. So getting stuck on the roads is a thing. Getting our civic amenities falling apart is a thing. And you were telling me that even when you were initially trying to study and understand Bangalore, you were looking at Western systems of city building and architecture and city layouts. and it didn't make sense to you, and when your professor actually told you, go back to the Shastras and then look at it, then it suddenly clicked. Is the reason the city infrastructure is not adequate because we have gone away from that foundational thing? Or do you think that this is just haphazard development? What do you think?
I think the first reason, which is that we did not actually look at the origins, and we did not look at how the city came to be and how it was laid out.
Okay.
So we did many things that were, in contravention of this particular original layout.
Okay.
Whether it was cutting off the lakes or cutting off the feeders to the lakes, we might not have done that if we had awareness
of why they were there in the first place. Okay.
And why they should be preserved. Now, some things could also be knee-jerk reactions.
Okay.
To say calamities like plague, which came.
And they had to immediately build the hospitals.
So, and many of the bodies may have been dumped in wells or kalyanis, and they may have been shut off because they were carrying infection.
Contaminated.
Maybe there was a cholera breakout or something of that sort. So maybe there was that knee-jerk reaction was there.
Correct.
And the biggest thing was introduction of tap water.
Okay.
You open a tap and you get water. You don't have to go to the lake. You don't have to preserve the lake.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So when you cut off that primary use, people don't see it as something sacred to be protected.
Correct.
Right? So large dams came in for convenience. Of course, the Maharaja brought in tap water and all of that. Now, that was very good on one level. The other thing was this got neglected.
Okay.
Right?
Correct.
But during the king's time, of course, the lakes, some other lakes were also built.
Okay, which king are we talking about here?
We are talking about Vadiar kings.
Okay.
They did build a lot of lakes, right? And it led into agricultural.
This is after they bought Bangalore.
Yeah. After they bought Bangalore, after the British came, and even during Mumbai's time, and you had lakes in Mysore which were developed. Probably not in Bangalore, but Mysore.
But Bangalore had a developed system of lakes.
And it had the best system according to British historians.
Okay, can we delve into this a little bit?
Yeah, of rainwater harvesting. This was documented to be the best system they found.
Okay, and what did they find in the documentation? How was, do you have any idea about what were the system of lakes, what the extent was, how many lakes were there?
Oh, hundreds of lakes were there.
Okay.
Around what was that core Bangalore. And the feeders, the Rajakalways, the stormwater drains.
Okay, so even today we have Rajakalways coming in. These are all set back in the day?
Yes, set back in the day.
Okay.
Which is, Google identifies all the Rajakalways as Rishabhavati River. It's very confusing for students. I just found why they name Rishabhavati River in the north when it originates near Bull Temple.
Okay.
So I was
thinking, do we still have that river running at any given point of time in today's?
It originates near the Bull.
No, but in current day, does it run anywhere?
We have turned it into a wastewater channel, but it runs.
Okay.
Because the waste is mixed along with stormwater. And that is being separated. K100 project is about that. So, there are many things we need to do.
So we were talking about the Rajakalways. The Rajakalways were basically stormwater drains. Okay.
That was a network. So you had them connecting to lakes, along the gradient of the land.
Correct.
So that was not something you pumped up or pumped down.
Correct. So natural gravity took through.
Gravity. And these lakes were all connected, and these lakes are not natural, they are man-made.
Okay, so the hundreds of lakes.
Tank bunds.
Okay, so a city of lakes is literally a city of tank bunds.
Yeah. I mean, even the accolade of Garden City, it's an engineered garden city. It's not a natural garden city.
Okay, yeah. I think it was a telephonic conversation when you and me were talking about it. And you told me the natural shrubbery around Bangalore is all thorny shrubs.
Yes, thorny shrubs, and you had this rocky surface. It was not necessarily a forest zone.
Okay.
Right? It was this thorny bushes and, scrub jungle kind of thing. So that was Bangalore. And then you had Cypress Garden, etc. coming up, or you had the Tulsi Tota during Kempegowda's time. Now, whenever we planned a garden. It was a useful garden. It was not a useless lawn,
Okay.
right? And water guzzling lawn. So it was not just for visual purpose. So there was a sacred purpose to it.
Okay.
There was also a building material purpose.
Okay.
Bilva leaf may be used in worship. Bilva
Correct.
fruit is used
in the construction and the gare
some of them
admixture.
had secondary, tertiary uses in both building construction and Ayurveda and so on. So you had these things planned that way. All the trees were useful.
Okay.
Right? And what grew over here.
So it was not just a random selection of what to grow in your garden. It was all for specific purpose or multiple purposes.
Yeah, and if you go into Gangavara, you see sacred trees like Ashwatha trees.
Yes.
You see Jodi Ashwatha in Gangavara.
Jodi Ashwatha trees in Gangavara. Okay.
All along. And some people told me that some of them were slated to go because of road expansion, which is tragic.
Oh my God.
A lot of Shiva temples and lot of these Jodi Ashwatha trees. Fascinating it was.
Okay.
So these kattes, which are also social notes and sacred notes. Doubling up,
yes.
Even as even housing panchayat sometimes.
Wow.
Of the village,
okay.
Right?
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
It was at an akshat katte usually. So they had so many uses, so many community uses as well, not just religious uses. So those were one category, and then you had these kind of trees. You had flowering trees like malige and jari and so on. And cypress trees, which were brought in by Hyder, and that was 25 acre Lal Bagh then. Now it is 200 and odd. Then you had gardeners coming in from Kew Gardens during British residency time, and Lal Bagh was developed as a botanical garden. Cubbon Park came up. Then we had ornamental gardens coming up.
Okay.
Right? So that was, the purpose was visual rather than...
Exactly. Rather than the original system of a useful garden.
Yeah. So you had this, and that also fed into, what do you say, visual appeal of the place.
Correct.
Because cereal blossoming is attributed to Crumbigal.
Yes.
And people like that who added to the beauty of the city. So it was deliberate. The avenue roads carried avenue trees now.
Yes.
So it was
and that is why it was the avenue road.
It was a deliberate action.
Correct.
So, which brought up this entire concept of garden city.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating. So even the garden city is through different people who ruled and administered Bangalore and their ideas of it, and that is what it's culminated to today.
Yeah.
So you were saying that the original idea of it's pretty well known history. The original idea of Lal Bagh was basically about 25 acres, and then during the British time it really got expanded, and now it's 250 acres.
It turned into a botanical garden.
But
they were also experimenting, planting potatoes, etc. for their diet, the British diet, right?
They were planting potatoes in Lal Bagh?
Yeah, we did not have potatoes. We had sweet potatoes.
Of course,
ganiso. Potatoes were required for their diet, for the European diet. So that kind of experimentation in OT and here and all of that.
Oh, that's why we have the OT potatoes.
Yeah, what to farm where. And in Bangalore, you could probably farm everything.
Correct.
Any seed you throw into the soil, it just sprouts.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating landscape. So I say, even if you have like 1 foot or 2 foot ground space, plant something there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fascinating land.
Fantastic, yeah. So so who do you think initially started all these tank bunds, which we later call lakes? Was it during the Chola or Ganga period?
Ganga period.
Okay.
Right from Ganga period, proliferation of lakes happened during Hoysala times.
Okay.
Because they were major irrigation, experts.
Okay.
And they were landed people, of course. So they came from that kind of community. They constructed huge amount of lakes, even for transportation of stone material for their temples. Usually their temples are near lakes or near rivers feeding into lakes and so on. So they needed that to transport materials as well. And they kind of boosted the agricultural yield of the place.
Of course.
So it became prosperous, and they were also into gold mining. They were the first to mine gold in Kolar. and it was a royal monopoly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Which even still remains royal monopoly today.
Yeah, and then Tipu used it, and later on, of course, there were
the British came in and
speculators who
expanded
came
it.
and exploited and carted away gold.
Yeah.
So all of that. So yeah, you have all that happening. So yeah, these dynasties contributed.
Okay.
We are probably the post-independence people only have not constructed any lakes or major gardens.
We have eaten away them.
If you leave them alone, if you leave the avenue roads alone, I think that would be a big achievement.
Okay. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
So you're saying that, some of the haphazard expansion is because of knee-jerk reactions or natural calamities. Now, if you were given a role of to envision Bangalore's expansion in a sustainable way, what would you change first?
Now, first of all, I don't know how much further Bangalore can be expanded.
Okay.
It has expanded and swallowed villages and towns around it.
Oh, yes, we are going to Nelmangla now.
Yeah, so I think that beyond Bangalore vision was really good.
Okay.
Because Nelamangla has its character, and
Yes.
now Nelamangla, Devanali, everything is part of Yelahanka became part of Bangalore. Now
Yes.
that is such a twist, right?
We used to call it
Bangalore
satellite.
was part of Yelahanka Nadu, and
Huh.
Yelahanka
Okay.
is now part of Bangalore.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is a crazy twist, and Bangalore became the capital of the new state.
Correct.
Right? So the focus shifted, and then there were scientific institutions and colleges. Because of that educational revolution, many immigrants came, and then you had employment coming in because there were factories, Kirloskar or Bosch or whatever.
Everything was here. HAL,
Yeah, and-
BEL, BHEL.
And then the major IT revolution, which just
Oh yeah, we are also guilty of that, but
the
we
IT
lived through
folk
that.
who spoiled the city. Oh well, not spoiled. Of course, development is something you cannot prevent.
You cannot prevent. You definitely cannot prevent. But
Technological advancement.
do our Shilpa Shastras have a solution to this kind of haphazard growth, or you think Bangalore is beyond?
They don't look at growth, but they do look at conservation.
Okay.
Because even when they talk about stone architecture, and they talk about pillars and other, building components, they say if something is intact, you reuse it.
Okay.
You don't pulverize it, you reuse it.
Okay.
If it can be restored, you restore it.
Okay. So they're not very eager on rebuilding. If
No.
restoration is
Even when you look at Kote Venkatamana Swamy temple, I think the pillars which were, some of the pillars which were just, abandoned in the mantapas, they brought them over here, and some are new.
oh, okay.
So you have that, reuse which is happening even in Chikdevaraja Vadiya's time.
So the recycling and the reusing and repurposing
Yeah.
has been part of
That
our.
sensibility was there, not to waste something, And stone is not an inexhaustible resource.
It is not, and it is not an easy resource to
exhaustible.
get.
So stone buildings should not be brought down, in my opinion,
Yeah.
at all. And if something can be used, can be restored, you should always do that
Okay.
instead of rebuilding. Now, you don't always need multi-story buildings.
Correct.
Where you need them, you can construct them. Now, during COVID time, many IT companies also realized that they don't need that bigger office space. It was just creating too much of overhead for the company itself.
Exactly.
And they started implementing work from home.
Yeah, but then no. I think that happened the other way around. They couldn't get the people into the offices. That's why they said work from home.
But they did realize how advantageous it is.
Yeah, it is. Now they get it.
Yeah, and even people realize that they could actually spend more time with their family and less time on the road.
Yeah.
We were just discussing about how many hours in a day you spend on the road, in traffic.
Yeah.
And what is the kind of visual simulation you get. Now, if you had a lake going towards Cottonpete Road, and then you had this green belt of soapnut hedge, your experience would have been totally different driving through or even walking through.
Oh, yes.
Right? So we have to envision a city where the primary concern is the user, not the vehicle.
Correct.
So you have to look at a pedestrian first city.
Oh, that is the last we are looking at right now.
Yeah.
In fact, we are only expanding the roads into the footpaths.
Now you look at the Pete. the east-west high street
Yes.
and the north-south high street and the east-west road. These main axes, they were actually built for vehicles.
As in the bullock carts or the horse carts or whatever.
And this Arlepete, the cotton pete, which mainly led into the pete, outer boundary of the neighborhood, that is where the vehicles plied. The secondary streets and the tertiary streets, their width reduces.
Correct. Even now, if you go, you have very small lanes. So it was actually meant for pedestrians and not vehicles at all.
The tertiary streets were completely pedestrian.
Yeah.
And the houses opened onto them.
Yes.
The shops opened onto main streets.
Correct.
And it was a mixed use development.
Okay, so this is fascinating. The main street, the shops opened onto the main streets.
Yeah.
And the houses opened onto the secondary and tertiary streets.
So imagine your office is not somewhere else.
Correct.
Right?
You're working
close. It is part
close.
of your house, but it opens to another street. Your house opens to, an internal street.
So they were working from home back then.
Yeah. So that was work from home back then.
Wow.
And you have a very nice layout and you have your social space internalized in the courtyard.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So all of these sensibilities can be implemented to some extent.
Okay.
Not to all extent because we have changed, our lifestyle has changed. But we can take certain sensibilities and marry it into urban planning today.
So would you say that of course, work from home now is a thing, but you alternate business districts and residential complexes, completely separating them will actually cause all these problems of commute and things like that?
That kind of zoning was really not part of the landscape. Right? You worked and you had lived
in the same space.
What we talk about work, play and, rest spots, stay spots, those existed back then.
Yes.
You may give it a new nomenclature, but that sensibility was brought in right back then. Now you have these, IT zones, etc., where the companies are trying to build residences
around them. Yeah.
Factories started building residences for their workers.
Yes.
Alongside.
And they used to call, I still remember when we were young, it used to be called quarters.
Yeah, quarters.
Quarters.
So you had residential quarters.
Yeah.
So that kind of contained expansion may be more helpful than having different zones scattered here and there.
Okay.
Because one has to commute to that space.
And every Bangalorean knows that's a bane of every Bangalorean's life.
Yeah. I remember my mother telling me that in 1970s, when Ramakrishna Hegde was a CM, he thought of limiting migration into Bangalore.
Oh, that's a retrograde idea.
That idea fell through because in the court, one argued that it impinges on fundamental right.
Yeah, freedom of movement.
Freedom of movement of the citizen. So we cannot bring in such a law.
Yeah.
But we certainly can. There's only limited housing available.
Correct.
So we cannot keep speculating. That is one thing. And we have to refocus that kind of development, building these kind of IT zones or etc. Away from Bangalore, beyond Bangalore.
Okay.
Developing those places as well. Because the prediction is that much more people, 80%, 90% and above are going to live in cities now, not in villages.
Correct. The urbanization is just ramping up.
So the urban will have to include agriculture. Because you cannot just have cities without land around
Correct.
it. Just build structures. You cannot do that because the population has to sustain itself.
And the city has to sustain the waste the city generates.
Yes. So landfills, you see those 4 landfills which are overflowing all around Bangalore.
Oh, yes.
And that's such a sad case because an entire village is now contaminated.
Completely. Yes.
Completely. The soil is contaminated. So you can't have such a situation. A truly successful city will not do that to another place. So we need to manage ourselves better. That is the first point.
So you're saying that having agriculture incorporated in the city landscape or the city ecosystem is one way of going about it?
Agriculture, grasslands.
Okay.
We don't think about animals, birds. We are just thinking about ourselves.
Okay.
Cities are for people.
Okay.
Okay. And the people don't breathe.
Yeah.
So we can cut down as many trees as possible.
Oh yes, that's the one thing that I sadly have seen. I mean, I was born in the city. I grew up here. I lost my way here. I found my way back in the city. Everything. So I'm a true Bangalorean. And the one thing sadly I see is the green cover loss that we have gone through. We've just gone through a green cover loss, like nobody can believe. And I still remember there used to be, I mean, I used to cycle all the way to St. Joseph's Indian High School, about 8 kilometers. I used to cycle it, and it used to be a pleasurable thing to do. Uh, I really cannot imagine any kid going on the cycle on Bangalore roads today. It's just not possible.
Very true. It reminds me of an incident when I was in UK, and there are these open farm markets happening on Sundays.
Okay, so Sunday market and the farmers market.
I was just going and buying those ginger chocolates and all that stuff, and talking to one of those locals, and she said, "Oh, you're from India. Where are you from India?" "I'm from Bangalore," I said. Then she said, "My grandfather used to be in India," and then her question was, "Do you still have snakes coming into the house?" And that was such a reckoner for me, because I haven't seen a snake.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, at least that was
I had
better.
to tell her, no, we have chased them all away.
Oh yeah,
You'll be hard pressed to find a snake inside Bangalore.
Oh no! I beg to differ from you there. As you know, I'm an avid golfer. I have seen snakes in every golf course in Bangalore.
Golf course green area.
Yes.
I'm talking about build space, the concrete jungle. There we have chased them away.
Yeah, we've chased them away.
You'll probably have some near, Sankey Tank and, all those spaces.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you practically chase all the, animals
Correct.
And birds away.
Yeah. Yeah. And one very stark thing is the sparrows are gone.
Sparrows are gone.
Sparrows are gone. I still remember, I mean, it used to be, we were in Sheshadripuram back in the day. I still remember in the backyard of my house, my grandmother used to go and she used to sort out the rice grains.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes there used to be some worms or insects there. She picks it and throws it out, and a bunch of sparrows just come. Not just for the worms, but even when you're sifting your grain or all the sparrows used to come and feed.
Even when they made snacks like Sunday and all that stuff. I remember with relation to my grandmother making that as well. But I haven't seen any in
I haven't seen sparrows.
Or Marapat. No, I have not seen them at all. So there is that loss. So you have to build a city for, everything, right?
So how do you say we solve this problem, or at least not aggravate this?
You have to have a sustainable, balanced development.
Okay.
And you have to have these elements of water, of greenery, of, all this planned within.
Now, who's responsible basically right now? Is it just the administration, or is it even the citizenry?
Both.
Okay.
Even the citizenry, because it is not the administration which tells you to follow out bylaws.
Okay.
And build into all the, spaces that you are supposed to leave for others, for yourself and others to breathe.
Okay.
It is not the administration which says cut the tree in front of the house.
Yes.
The administration has done that on some ring roads and, developmental projects and all that. So yes, they need to be criticized for that. But in front of your own house, if you remove trees so that you can park your car and you don't make a garage, you want to convert it into a room, who is responsible for that?
Yeah, that's you. That's completely you.
Yeah, so that is up to the citizens, right? So you need to have these sensibilities are there for a reason. These bylaws are there for a reason. Understand that.
Correct.
And make sure you have some space, a space where you can grow something.
Correct.
Even if you plant a small flowering tree, you will see smaller birds coming in, and
yes, that happens,
and that is very, very, very nice to watch, and such a visual relief.
Oh yes. And another thing I've forgotten seeing in Bangalore are butterflies. We used to have quite a few butterflies coming in And I've always seen, a small garden that we had outside, we used to see a lot of butterflies. Now the butterflies are gone. We do not see butterflies in Bangalore.
Yeah, for urban trees and avenue tree management, you need proper arboriculture. And you need arboriculturists who are with horticulturists and planning these things. This has to happen in a sustainable manner. So some part of it is left to the administration and some others are left to the citizen. Of course, there are very aware citizens who are, making a difference in their own little way. It has to have a greater reach, I feel.
Oh, yes. It certainly has. Certainly does. But thank you so much. Thank you for coming here, educating us and giving us
My pleasure.
crazy tidbits about Bangalore and our culture that we do not know about. Well, there is another fascinating podcast that you need to be here. Is all about the restoration work that you do.
Oh.
And I hope you find the time for it while doing all these works.
Sure, it will be my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for having me here.